Okay, so we're going to be graphing special linear equations today. I'm just going to do a few examples, and then I would recommend that you keep your notes handy for the activity we're going to do next, because you're going to need to know how to graph these special linear equations. So let me give you the first. The first type that you may not have seen Now, remember linear equations. This right here is your slope. Or, I'm sorry, it is not your slope. Goodness, this is your Y-intercept. I was just making sure you guys were awake. And that I was awake too. Now, but what's interesting is there's no number here for your slope. But if you remember, when we just have one x, we don't write the 1. So what the slope is here is -1. Okay? So your y-intercept is 2. Your slope is -1. And let's look at this in more detail here too. Remember that 1 is this -1 is the same as -1/1. Everybody follow me so far? Yeah? Okay, now let's go ahead and use this information to graph our line. Okay, so my y-intercept is a +2, so I'm going to put a point here at +2. Now because my slope is negative, I'm going to go down and over. And it's going to be down 1/1. So down 1/1, down 1/1, down 1/1. Now sometimes you might run out of space on this side and you haven't really made enough points to connect them to make a line. But you can still follow that pattern the other way. We could go this way as well. And then you can connect it to make a nice straight line through those points. So that's one special type of line that you're going to see. Now let's look at another special line. Okay. So let's talk about this for a minute, because this looks peculiar, right? Not something that you've seen before. So I'm going to expand this out to hopefully help you make sense of this. Is this the same as this? Yes. And if that is the case, then we can say that your y-intercept is -3. And your slope is 0. Okay. Now, do you guys remember, is a slope of 0 horizontal or vertical? Show me with your arm. I want to see if you know or not. Some people changed your mind. Okay, remember, if it's vertical and you try to stick poor Sally on the vertical line, or no, here's Harry. He's going to fall to his death. So we say this has no slope. Like this, you put Harry on there. He's not going to be rolling to the left or the right. This is a slope of 0. 0 meaning you're not moving. Okay, so a 0 slope is horizontal. vertical, Harry falls to his death, and that is no slope, okay? Because you can't stand on that line, so no slope. Good. Okay, so if your y-intercept is -3, then we can put this point right here, -3. And then a slope of 0 is just a horizontal line. Now, another way to graph this, if this kind of missed you a little bit, is y is equal to -3. Y is equal to -3 no matter what x is, because x does not matter at all in this case. So when x is 3, y will be -3. When x is -1, y will be -3. When x is -4, y will be -3. For every single x value, y will always be -3, which is one of the reasons why it is a horizontal line like that. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. Now I'm sure you might be able to guess where I'm going next here, but let's look at another special equation. Okay, now you might be saying, Miss Mac, how do I get that in the right form? You don't. You don't get this in the right form. So I'm going to explain this to you another way. So I'm going to put my graph here so we can talk about it. Okay, so if y equals -3 is horizontal, what do you think x equaling something will be? Vertical, yeah, vertical. Okay, so let's talk about that. Well, first of all, x is equal to 4, so we can put that point here. Now, just like above, it does not matter what your y is equal to, your x will always be 4. So that means if y is +4, x will be 4. If y is -2, x will be 4. And what you're going to end up with is this vertical line, like this. Okay? And no matter what y is, like I said, your x is going to be +4. So when you have problems like this, you get a vertical and this is no slope. And up here, this is horizontal. Is it O, I think? Oh, I can't remember how to spell that. And the slope is 0. So just keep that in mind. Now I know that homework, yeah.
So is it just negative and positive? Is that what changes it?
No, it's whether, like in this case, well, if this had been +3,
Yeah.
your line would still be horizontal. It would just be through +3 instead.
Okay.
And if this one had been -4, then your line would have been over here at x is equal to -4.
Oh, it says x is equal to.
Yeah, it's basically like, you know, you can plot your intercept. So here the y-intercept is -3. And I plugged in -3 and did a horizontal line through it. Here your x-intercept is +4, and then you draw a line through that, and it's vertical.
Okay.
Okay? Good. So So what you're gonna do today is something different, because I love doing different things. Do not dig doing the same thing every day. Is you're going to complete this today. Have you guys ever seen a stained glass window? Like at a church or something? They're really pretty. They have all the intersecting lines, and each little part is a different color, and it just looks really nice. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna graph all of these lines on this coordinate plane. And when you graph them, I do want you to make sure you label them. So let me show you an example. Y is equal to 6. So here's y is equal to 6. I'm going to put a line through it. You're going to want to extend your line all the way out, okay, and label it. So I'm going to put right on top of that line, I'm going to put y is equal to 6. Then go ahead and do that for all of the other, you're going to graph all of those equations and label them. Once you're done, then you can use colored pencils to color in your stained glass and make it look nice, if you want to. I know some of you don't care about coloring, so as long as you graph your lines, you're fine. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can color it in and make it look nice. Yes, sir? You're good? Okay. All right.